Let's talk about digital illustration today.
Hey, have you been working on any digital illustrations lately?
Yeah, I just finished a piece inspired by nature.
That sounds cool. What kind of nature elements did you include?
I incorporated mountains, forests, and a sunset.
Nice. Do you use any specific software for your illustrations?
I mainly use Procreate on my iPad. What about you?
I usually stick with Adobe Illustrator for my work.
Illustrator is great for vector art. Do you prefer vector or raster?
I lean more towards vector because of the scalability.
That makes sense. I love the texture you can achieve with raster, though.
True, raster can give a more organic feel. Have you tried both?
I have, but I find myself gravitating towards raster more often.
Interesting. What brushes do you like to use in Procreate?
I love the watercolor brushes for a soft effect.
Watercolor effects can be stunning. Do you use any custom brushes?
Yes, I've created a few of my own for unique textures.
That's awesome. I should try making custom brushes too.
It's a fun process, and it really personalizes your work.
I can imagine. Do you have any tips for beginners?
Start with basic shapes and build from there.
Good advice. I think a lot of people overcomplicate things.
Exactly. Keeping it simple helps you focus on composition.
What about color choices? Any strategies you use?
I usually create a color palette before I start.
That's smart. It keeps everything cohesive.
For sure. I also look for inspiration from other artists.
Same here. Do you have a favorite artist you follow?
I really admire the work of Loish. Her colors are amazing.
I love her style too. It's so vibrant and full of life.
Right? I also like how she captures movement in her illustrations.
Movement is key. It brings the artwork to life.
Do you focus on movement in your pieces?
Absolutely. I try to convey emotion through dynamic poses.
That's a great approach. It really engages the viewer.
Thanks. I think storytelling is crucial in illustration.
Definitely. Every piece should tell a story in some way.
What story did you tell in your recent piece?
It's about a journey through a magical forest.
That sounds enchanting. Any characters in it?
Yes, a whimsical creature guiding the way.
I love that. What inspired you to create that character?
I wanted something that represented curiosity and adventure.
Perfect. Curiosity is such an important theme.
It really is. What themes do you explore in your work?
I often explore themes of isolation and connection.
That's deep. How do you convey those themes visually?
I use color contrasts and space to create tension.
That's a clever technique. It must evoke strong feelings.
I hope so. I want viewers to reflect on their own experiences.
That's a powerful goal for any artist.
Thanks. Do you ever collaborate with other artists?
I have a few times, and it's always a rewarding experience.
Collaborations can lead to some amazing outcomes.
They really can. You get to learn from each other, too.
Exactly. What was your favorite collaboration?
I worked with a friend on a mural project.
That sounds fun. What was the theme of the mural?
It was about community and unity.
Such an important message. How did you divide the work?
We each took different sections and styles.
That sounds like a great way to blend your styles.
It was. The final piece turned out beautifully.
I'd love to see it. Do you have any photos?
Yes, I can send you some later.
Awesome. I'd really appreciate that.
No problem. What's your dream project?
I'd love to create a graphic novel someday.
That would be amazing. Do you have a story in mind?
I do. It's about a time traveler exploring different eras.
That sounds intriguing. What art style are you thinking?
I'm considering a blend of realism and stylization.
That sounds like a unique combination.
I hope so. I want it to feel immersive.
I think you'll achieve that. What's your timeline for it?
I'm hoping to start drafting in the next few months.
Exciting. Do you have any deadlines for yourself?
I try to set small goals to keep myself motivated.
That's a smart approach. It helps avoid burnout.
Exactly. How do you stay motivated with your projects?
I set aside time each week to work on personal pieces.
That's a great idea. Consistency is key.
For sure. I also join online challenges for inspiration.
I've heard about those. They sound like a lot of fun.
They really are. It pushes you to try new things.
I should join one. It could help me break out of my routine.
Definitely. You might discover new techniques too.
I'm all for discovering new techniques.
It keeps the creative juices flowing.
Speaking of techniques, do you have a favorite one?
I love using layering to create depth in my work.
Layering can really enhance the final piece.
It adds so much dimension. What's yours?
I enjoy experimenting with light and shadow.
That's crucial. It can change the mood entirely.
Exactly. Lighting can make or break an illustration.
Do you study light in real life for your art?
Yes, I often observe how it interacts with different surfaces.
That's a great practice. It helps with realism.
It does. I think observational skills are vital for artists.
I agree. It's all about seeing the world differently.
Well said. Do you have any favorite places to draw?
I love drawing in parks surrounded by nature.
Parks are perfect. The scenery is always inspiring.
What about you? Where do you like to create?
I enjoy cozy coffee shops. The atmosphere is great.
That sounds nice. Plus, you get to people watch.
Exactly. It sparks ideas for characters and stories.
People watching is a great source of inspiration.
It really is. You never know what you might see.
Have you ever drawn someone you observed?
Yes, I sketched a couple of people once.
That's awesome. How did it turn out?
It was a fun challenge. I loved capturing their expressions.
Expressions can tell so much about a person.
They really can. It adds life to the illustration.
What's your favorite subject to illustrate?
I love drawing characters, especially fantasy ones.
Fantasy characters are so much fun to create.
They are. You can let your imagination run wild.
Exactly. What kind of fantasy world would you create?
I'd create a world with mythical creatures and magic.
That sounds enchanting. What creatures would you include?
Dragons, fairies, and maybe some unique hybrids.
I love hybrids. They can be so creative and unexpected.
Right? It opens up so many possibilities.
What about your favorite creature to draw?
I think dragons are my favorite. They're so majestic.
Dragons are great. I love their variety in design.
Yes, you can make them fierce or friendly.
Exactly. It's all about the personality you give them.
What personality do you usually go for?
I like to create playful and mischievous dragons.
That's a fun twist. It adds a light-hearted touch.
I think so. It makes them more relatable.
Do you have a favorite color scheme for your dragons?
I love vibrant colors like teal and purple.
Those colors would look stunning on a dragon.
Thanks. What about you? Any favorite color schemes?
I enjoy earthy tones like greens and browns for a more natural look.
That sounds beautiful. It would give a grounded feel.
Exactly. It can make the creature feel more connected to nature.
I love that concept. Nature is such a powerful influence.
It really is. It inspires so many artists.
For sure. Do you have a favorite nature scene to illustrate?
I love illustrating serene lakes with mountains in the background.
That sounds peaceful. Water reflections can be stunning.
They are. Capturing that can be a fun challenge.
I bet. Do you have any tips for drawing water?
Focus on the light and how it interacts with the surface.
Great tip. Reflections can be tricky, but rewarding.
They really can. It adds so much realism to the piece.
What's your favorite part of the illustration process?
I love the moment when everything starts coming together.
That moment is so satisfying. It feels like magic.
It really does. It's rewarding to see your vision realized.
Absolutely. It makes all the hard work worth it.
Do you have a least favorite part of the process?
I'm not a fan of the initial sketching phase.
I get that. It can be tough to get the right proportions.
Yes, but once I move to coloring, I feel better.
Coloring is definitely the fun part.
It really is. It brings the illustration to life.
What's your favorite medium to use for coloring?
I love digital painting. It feels so versatile.
Digital painting is great. You can easily make changes.
Exactly. It's so forgiving compared to traditional mediums.
That's a huge plus. Do you ever miss traditional art?
Sometimes, but I enjoy the convenience of digital.
I can understand that. Each has its own charm.
For sure. What traditional medium do you like best?
I love working with watercolors. They're so fluid.
Watercolors can create such beautiful effects.
They really can. It's all about layering and control.
Yes, it can be a delicate balance.
Definitely. Do you have a favorite watercolor technique?
I love wet on wet for soft blends.
That technique creates stunning gradients.
It really does. What's your favorite watercolor technique?
I enjoy dry brushing for texture and detail.
That's a great choice. It adds depth to the piece.
Exactly. It can create such interesting effects.
I should practice that technique more often.
It's worth it. You might discover new styles.
I'm excited to try. Thanks for the encouragement.
Anytime. I love sharing tips and ideas.
Me too. It's always fun to discuss art.
Absolutely. Art brings people together in such a unique way.
It really does. I love being part of this community.
Same here. It's inspiring to see everyone's work.
For sure. There's so much talent out there.
It motivates me to keep improving my skills.
Me too. It's a never-ending journey of growth.
Exactly. And there's always something new to learn.
That's what makes it exciting.
I can't wait to see where our art takes us next.
Me neither. Here's to more creativity ahead.